Going up, it's just, you're constantly wondering if you're going too hard and if you're going to die. So, like they say, it's an ultimate mental battle.
Is that what keeps bringing you back year after year, the ultimate mental battle?
Yeah, I don't care what racers show up, even if somebody shows up better than me, This is a test against yourself. Everybody that's out here is doing it, and everybody's testing themselves, and it's great.
It's called America's Ultimate Challenge. Each year, over 2,500 runners flock to Manitou Springs to challenge themselves against the mountain known as Pikes Peak. This year, runners from 46 different states and 8 foreign countries have come. They all start here and make their way towards the clouds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
Jeff Cuno, welcome back to the Steep Stuff Podcast for our annual Pikes Peak conversation. How's it going, bud?
Good, man. Good, man. Yeah, here we are again, Pikes Peak, right around the corner.
Dude, a year flew by quick, man. I feel like we were just chatting. Like this is nuts. Like here we are. We're both heavily bearded and a little bit older now.
Got to get the beard going before winter comes. So we're prepared.
You know what, man? Who knows? I mean, I haven't checked the weather for the Pikes Peak Ascent and Marathon, but I mean,
I heard the other day, didn't it?
It did snow the other day. We're rolling the dice, dude. I don't know what we're doing here, but like it could be. I swear to God, even if it snows, like we're going to the top. Like
we have to.
It can't not happen.
Last year was. I still think last year we should have went to the top, but I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not. But I think we should have.
You're not the only one who feels that way. Just about 99.9% of people. I made a mistake of like telling people I'm on the board now because I've even had women reach out to me asking to create a petition to move the race back to August. So like people feel very strongly about the situation right now. So yeah.
How many years has it been in September? Like 4 or 5?
I think this is the 3rd or 4th, if I remember correctly. We're going to move, from what I understand, I don't know if this is like, I don't know, maybe this could be, you've heard it first here. We are definitely next year going to move it back, I think, to beginning of September or the first 2 weekends in September, if I remember correctly. So it might be moved back a week or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something to do with, I don't know, something in Manitou they were doing, or they needed the trails for something. I honestly cannot remember, but yeah, dude, I'm all for August. I think we need to go back to August. I mean, who cares about the thunderstorms? It's all right. We don't need, lightning, a little bit of lightning adds a little parity, but if there's snow, we don't need anybody freezing to death on the mountain. It could be awkward.
And like, even if it doesn't snow, it's cold. Like after you cool down, after you get to the top, it's cold, man.
Oh, it's freezing up there, dude.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. You're all sucked dry and withered away, so it's a tough one for sure.
Oh man, so what about the Ascent like intrigued you this year? Was it more the like, did you just didn't want to do the marathon again, or what are we doing here? Like what's the
man? I don't know. Okay, so I was a little rambunctious and I signed up for way too many races in September, and obviously that descent is going to beat you up really bad. So my thought was like, oh, if I do the Ascent, then I'll recover, a lot faster and be able to do this 50K down in New Mexico the following weekend. I'm kind of sad about it because, like we've talked about in the past, like my downhill is just it's my bread and butter. So I'm kind of taking that away and kind of putting myself in an uncomfortable situation. But it's going to be fun regardless. So yeah, ultimately I went with the Ascent because I wanted to do a couple other races and didn't want to be fully destroyed from that downhill.
Totally understood, man. How I mean, dude, you've run so fast on this course. Like, what's your fastest ascent time? It's like 2:11, 2:17. What is it?
My ascent time?
Yeah.
No, it's not that fast. I'm in the 2:30s, so I'd
Oh,
like
is it
to.
2:30?
Yeah, I'd like to crack 2:30 this go around, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. See how I feel.
So you just did a high altitude race. How
Yeah.
did you feel? I mean, obviously, like Devil and Divide, especially for 50K, that's a long time above 10,000 feet. How'd you feel during that?
Um, I didn't taper that much for it because I knew that, Pikes was a little bit 2 weeks after. So I kind of wanted to like prolong that, and I went into it like slightly tired. I was feeling I was feeling pretty dang good. Maybe about 5 miles in. The first 5 miles, it took me a little bit to get warmed up. It kind of starts on like a forest road, and that's not. I'm not like the biggest fan of that. I love me some single track for sure. But I was feeling good. I was feeling really good coming through like 13, 14, 15 miles. But I had changed something up, which, like we all know, you're not supposed to do things new in racing. Yeah, I had done about 75 grams of carbs per hour in training, and I was like, what the hell? I'll push it, and I'll go 100 grams per hour for Devil on the Divide because I was just, 50K. I wanted to make sure that in that last 10 miles, I kind of had a little extra juice in the body to keep me going, but stomach kind of revolted on that, and I had lost two of my bottles. Nice projectile vomit out
Oh
out at
shit!
tree, yeah, out at tree line at like 18 miles, and then kind of from that point on, it was just get me to the finish line. So it was like if you were to storybook a ultra, I think that was you look in a dictionary, that my race was definitely that.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
All right. So we learned a little bit about the high carb. Listen,
Yeah.
man, it can't be worse than me. I got 2.5 miles into a circ race and cramped. I don't think anyone's ever done that other than me. All right, so it's just one of those days to figure shit out and hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just you live and learn. But that course, dude, is so epic. Like you're spending so much time above tree line and running like sweet ridges, and it was like, yeah, I was super bummed and I felt like crap kind of like those last 12 miles. But I mean, it's so epic. I would highly recommend it for sure.
I've heard really good things about the course. Nick Tusa ran the 22K. He got on the podium there. I've heard like amazing things about both races.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Did you get to talk to Zach Miller at all? Was he on the course with you guys?
Yeah. I talked to him at the finish line a little bit. Super cool guy. I think he signed up like kind of last minute. So I was like, oh, it's going to be kind of cool to see what he can do on that. I know he's probably tired from training as well, from training for world champs coming up. But yeah, man, there's like a little out and back kind of around like halfway. And I was like kind of close to him, maybe like 3 minutes behind him. And he looked just in true Zach Miller fashion. I think he just looked like he was hammering. And I think no matter the distance, he looks like he's hammering. So it was cool to kind of see him in action and be a fan for a second and be on the same course with the guy. So yeah, it was cool.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, back to Pikes. I got to ask you, man, like what keeps you coming back? What about this course? Is it something you just haven't like, I mean, last year, obviously we had the shortened course, so that keeps you hungry to go do something, whether it be the Ascent or marathon, but like, is it the quest to go under 2:30? Like what has you intrigued about this race?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I just feel like this will be my third time racing it. I've done Bar Trail Mountain Race twice, and I've only gone to the top once because last year it was shortened, obviously. And the first year that I did it was that Golden Trail year in 2022. Then I went to the top that year, and I don't know. I just didn't feel like I executed like I could have. I felt a little like lethargic, and I think it's a really hard course and very niche course to nail and like actually get it dialed in. So I think that is the most intriguing thing to me, is like going back and seeing if I can. I mean, you're never going to feel good from start to finish, but like cross the finish line knowing that like, oh man, like that was the best I had, So that I know that I have, regardless of uphill, downhill, whatever it is, I know that I have, a skill set that I can do a lot better on it than what my time shows. So that's just kind of something that eats at me too a little bit, is like going in and having a kick-ass race and showing that I can climb well, and not just rely on the downhill a little bit. So yeah, man, a few things. It's also like such a historical race.
Yeah.
Legends have ran that race.
It's true.
Badass.
All the legends, man. It's interesting to me. I'm gonna get the gears turning in your head for a second, just because, like, this is a weird year. Joe's not back. Joe's going to Worlds. I think that's common knowledge now, and it seems like, I mean, we got a pretty stout elite field, but like a lot of dudes with not a ton of experience, and like you're a very experienced dude in this field. Does that change the calculus in your mind? Like maybe like, are you looking, what I'm trying to ask you is it more you versus you looking for a time, or is it you're going to go race to win or try to win, or at least try to get on the podium? Because there's an opportunity this year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good point. No matter, I guess, what the race is, kind of no matter who shows up, like you always want to go there to win. Obviously expectations change. A lot of the races these days include some of, like, obviously America's best, the world's best mountain runners, trail runners. So kind of coming at it with like a level head and realizing kind of where you're at, but still having that desire and that drive to win is always going to be there. That being said, like you said, the time, it's such a nasty race that like I said earlier, that like I just want to execute. So there is that feeling going in. I think if I have a good day, like no doubt I can battle for that top 5 on that podium. I don't know about winning, but there's some. Last time I checked, there were some pretty fast dudes, especially some really good climbers. But yeah, always have that mindset of going to a race to win. I think that if you're telling yourself, or if you're going to a race and you're telling yourself like, I'm not going to win and these things, you're just setting yourself up for failure regardless. So, dream big, shoot big, if you fail, so what? But always go to the race and have that mindset that you're going to perform your best and you're going to be battling those dudes.
Dude, I love to hear it. I love the approach.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk a little bit about BTMR, where you got on the podium. You got second place. You're a former champion of this race as well. You got to throw down with John, Aziz. I don't know if you pronounce his name Aziz or Aziz. I feel like I should have asked him this. Anyway, what'd you take away from that one? Obviously, John's is just in a crazy class of his own. I mean, he was in like Broken Arrow fitness like at that point. So what, were you in no man's land, or like where were you as far as the race went?
Yeah, Jonathan Aziz is next level. He's a badass. What I learned from that race is that you can't gain much in the W's, but you can sure as hell lose a lot. I think that, bar. So second time I've done bar, and it's that section after the W's, and it kind of like, or after No Name Creek, I guess I should say, and it flattens out. I think being able to have legs there is kind of crucial. And I don't know, man. It's just, like I said, even bar is like such a hard race to nail with that climb and everything. But yeah, like I said, being patient in the W's, man, is like going to be kind of my approach going into Pikes. And I learned that from bar, is like, it's better to feel good after that than to feel good during that.
Yep.
So that's going to be my approach. As for like racecraft and things like that, John was pretty much gone. But me and Ben were kind of going back and forth a little bit. He kind of went out hot, and then I was able to catch him. I was feeling really good on the W's, and then I caught him. And then from there, I kind of hit a wall, and he kind of just marched away from me a little bit. And then, once again, relied on my downhill and just hammered. And I was getting kind of splits from the other runners coming up the mountain. It was like 1 minute, and then it was like, I don't know, 40 seconds, and it was like 20 seconds. And then people were like, he's right there, you could get him. So that had motivated me. I wish that I could have been with him a little bit more on the uphill, just because it's just like I keep writing the same old story with myself, like, oh, he's not going to be good on the climb, but he's going to hammer the downhill. And I just like I want to kind of change that story a little bit and be able to do both. But it was a good mental battle, like kind of with myself and kind of with some of the other runners, that was like, like don't give up. Like you can always keep hunting and keep digging and get it done. So I think I learned a lot from that experience. But yeah, bar's a fun race, and yeah, it's a good little rust buster for Pikes in a sense.
That's a tricky one. I got to ask you this. You're a coach. You're a brilliant mind in the sport. I've asked you millions of questions in this off season to get ideas and stuff like that. What have you done to make any changes in your climbing to try and get that extra, I don't know, 1% to 2% if you could pull that out of yourself?
Mm-hmm. So in the past, I kind of, in terms of training for this year's Pikes, I didn't come at it with like such a specific approach like I kind of would with other races. This summer, I just, had a little bit of like life changes earlier this summer, and I just felt like I just needed to go like run and have fun. So I spent a lot of time just running in the mountains and spending a lot of time above tree line. In these past couple weeks, though, I did incorporate a little bit more pure just uphill threshold efforts, kind of like aerobic threshold efforts. In the past, where I noticed that I improved the most was like those 45 to like 60-minute like aerobic tempos on like similar terrain that I would do for the race. Like I said, I didn't do too many of those this summer. Along with that, just being paired with like some shorter intervals, like track or flat stuff, just to keep the leg turnover. Because for me personally, and I noticed with like some athletes that I coach, that if we're just doing vert all the time, like what happens when we run vert, we go slower, which kind of creates slow legs, right? So like always touching on that speed, always touching on that turnover generally helps. So yeah, like when I've climbed the best, which I think 2024, I was in really good climbing shape, I think. And I was just alternating, man. I was alternating like 60-minute up to like 75-minute uphill tempos. And then I would do track sessions like around like 5K to 10K pace. And I would kind of alternate those like on like a 10-day cycle. And it really seemed to work well. But like I said, this summer, I wanted to be kind of more of a soul runner and go out and just go run in the mountains, get in the Alpine, and see some cool lakes and tag some cool peaks. So we'll see how it pans out. I think above tree line this year, I'll probably be pretty strong. Hopefully, I think I'll be able to do some hunting up there and have a good showing. Hopefully.
Dude, I love to hear it, man. It's interesting. The reason I bring it up, it's just interesting to me. Like, so I'd say one of the guys to beat in this race, besides yourself, is going to be Brian Whitfield. Kieran is going to be in the mix. You have raced them very close in the past, like just at this past year in June at what was it? The not Pepe's at the Adidas what was it? The 20K for the Adidas Terex race or GoPro Games. Sorry, the word escaped me there. I don't know. It's just interesting because you guys have all kind of bunched up and been pretty close together in the past. So it's going to be fun to see how this race kind of plays out with all of you guys in the mix. So,
yeah. And I think both of those guys are amazing climbers. Like Kieran is an amazing climber. Brian's just good at whatever he does. So it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, I think my strong suit's going to be above tree line, and my strength and mentality will probably take over there. No doubt they're going to walk away from me on the W's, but I've accepted that and know that I'll see them. Yeah, it's early. I'll see them later on the climb. So let's go.
It's a long race. It could be a long race. Like, I think people forget that. It's like, you might feel good for the first 2,000 feet. And I know you kind of said, like, once you get to no name and you got to have legs for that, because you got to run high 7-minute pace, probably somewhere in that range when you hit, when you get off of no name and it starts to flatten out a little bit, which is very difficult to do. I don't think people realize like how fast some of the, the front guys are going at that point. But yeah, the W's, you could really, really fuck yourself. It could be a really bad day out.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part of the course?
Oh, favorite part of the course. I don't know. I like that. Oh, except for they changed it a little bit. I really like that section, like right after it flattens out, and then you get like as you're going up to bar and in those timbers and stuff. Like, I don't know, kind of nerding out a little bit, but like that biome at like 10,000 feet with like
you talking about the switchbacks? Are you talking about? Dude, I hate those. Oh my God.
And they added so many more stairs, and it like I noticed that in bar, and I was like, oh man. So that's a new challenging thing. Like all the log stairs that they put in.
Yeah.
And like when your legs are a little tired, those are high up.
You gotta jump, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you think I feel? I'm a midget, dude. I gotta really jump.
yeah. gotta gotta work on the plyos.
I gotta do something, dude. Yeah, no, I agree. I was cursing whoever put those in, man, because you gotta really figure out either way to go around. You gotta go over. It's not, it's not ideal. It's funny you say that you like those switchbacks too above bar. Like that's my least favorite part of the entire like race or the course, if you will, because that's like I feel like that's the make it or break it aspect. Like if you're not running that section, especially on the ascent. Like if you're hiking, it's over, man. Like that's where you're gonna get swallowed up, especially because you're not even at tree line yet.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like that weird, like random, like percent grade where you can't hike it, but you have to run it. But when you run it, it hurts. So it's just like I don't know. It's a tough section. So hopefully we'll be able to hammer it and get into a good spot starting there.
What is and you can be as candid about this as you want, but like since last week you were kind of playing with the nutrition strategy. Have you adjusted that back down? Like, what do you think? Because like 100 grams of carbs is that's a nice chunk of carbs. But it's interesting in a race like this because the weather's always changing. The altitude is constantly changing. You know, your body is changing as you ascend the mountain. I almost feel like if you really wanted to get in the weeds about it, like you could almost have a different strategy for different sections in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you could. You really could. I'm going to probably dial it back to what I've been doing all summer is like right around that like 70, 75 grams per hour. I think starting with like fluid or like calories in my bottle, I'll probably start with that. And then the second half, I'll probably stick to gels just because like the palate gets tired and just plain water just is kind of thirst quenching at that point once you get a little bit later and just kind of rely on my calories from more gels in that second half. I think another thing too is like sodium intake is a big one. I've been kind of playing with that, especially like spending so much time high altitude this summer, like kind of learning how much salt I need to not feel like complete ass, obviously at higher altitudes we need a little bit more salt, so I think kind of prepping for that too as we get a little higher, or kind of like doing some like I don't know what the word I'm trying to find is, like precautionary things like early on to prepare yourself for later, especially if food isn't going down or gels aren't going down as easy, just making sure that you're taking care of yourself soon, just like we kind of talked about the W's, being smart with your energy early on so that later on you can bank that and make sure that you're there to play.
Yeah, no, I love it. Have you done a sweat test yet?
I have not.
I gotta say, man, I was thoroughly impressed with the sweat test.
Is it cool?
Highly recommend. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but like I was like, huh. I mean, I always kind of assumed I was a salty sweater, but I didn't know I was that salty of a sweater.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Once you take in the right amount of milligrams of sodium or a little bit more, you feel really good. It's crazy. Science, man. Tell me about this Mount Taylor 50K you're running at the end of September.
Dude, Mount Taylor 50K is the pride of New Mexico. Oh, man. It's a hard one. It's a hard one for sure. It's a little shy of 50K. It's like 29 miles or like 30 miles. Got a little over 6,000 feet of climbing, and you're above 9,000, 10,000 feet like the whole time. And then the summit of Mount Taylor itself is like 11.3 or 11.5 or something like that. It's a tough course. If you look at it by the numbers, it doesn't seem crazy, but when you look at the course profile, it's very difficult. A lot of that 6,000 comes in the last 10 miles. You have two major climbs. The first one being you go up to the summit of Mount Taylor. It's like, if I remember correctly, like maybe 3 or 4 miles, and you basically just go straight up the side of the mountain and tag the peak, and then you drop straight down into this hole. It's called Water Canyon, and then you got to climb your butt back out, and then like a couple mile descent down to the finish. So it's a strength runner's course for sure. It's not crazy fast or anything like that, but kind of having those climbing legs and being strong and kind of gritting it out in those last 10 miles is important. I like to do that. I got a lot of friends and stuff back in New Mexico, so I'm excited to go back down there and hang out and race a 50K with my friends and maybe drink a couple beers after. We'll see. And yeah, it's going to be a good time, man. I would recommend it to anybody who likes a mountainous 50K. That's for sure.
Oh man. All right. So for listeners and myself, I got to put that on the list, dude. I like to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to get 50K curious. I'm not quite there yet. But
Don't do it. I'm just kidding.
I'm starting to get like anything longer than 10K curious. We'll see. Do you feel like spending this summer in Colorado has made you like better with altitude? I know last year you were down in New Mexico living at a little bit lower altitude. So you think this is just like a net positive for you altitude wise?
Yeah. I've kind of, aside from when I lived in New Mexico, I kind of always lived at altitude. And then moving down to Albuquerque, I was living at like 5,000 feet. I think it's funny because like track and road runners are like doing altitude camp and it's like 5,000 feet. Like that's low altitude for trail runners. But yeah, moving back up here, where I live now is like at 8,300 feet.
Oh, wow.
So it took me, I thought that it wasn't going to affect me that much. But like the first 2 weeks that I was here and was training, I noticed like a little bit of elevated heart rate and things like that. So I don't know. It's hard to say if it's benefited me because every race I've done has kind of been at even higher altitude. I do feel like I'm more prepared. Like I said, like I spent a lot of time above tree line, so I'm excited to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think just overall, probably a little bit fitter in the mountains. I think there's different types of fitness and different things that you can be good at. But I think doing some big mountains, I think I'm pretty fit right now. So, and I think the altitude definitely played a factor for sure. So, yeah, I'm grateful to live where I live now and be at the altitude that I'm at and have access to go do those things. So you kind of take it for granted when you live down in the desert a little bit. So it's it's nice to have it out the back door.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's fun following your Strava. You put good stuff up. Last thing, I know it's probably hard to think about this, especially with 2 races on the horizon already. Are you starting to think about 2026 at all? Like anything on that you really want to do? I know you and I text back and forth, and every now and then you're like, "Oh, dude, I really want to do this."
Yeah.
But, is there anything that like you're like, I have to do? Like, I have to make this happen.
Yes, I'm always thinking about the future. Like racing is what like motivates me and drives me. So it's like, oh, I should do this. I should do this. Gets me in trouble. Obviously, like I have tons of races in September. But like, yeah, you and I were texting and you said the rut, and I think that just has to happen.
Yeah, I can see that, dude. You're especially like technical descending, like that's your jam, homie. Like,
yeah, I think that has to happen. So you and me next year will be at the rut.
Okay. All right.
Early season, I don't know. Like, I knew someone who did Telluride Mountain Run, and it looks so badass, but it's super close to the rut, and I think like recovery kind of would be a little iffy, especially if you wanted to be in A shape for the rut. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do GoPro games again, man, because it's just like such a burner.
It's competitive. Yeah.
All the freaking dogs are there. It's a lot of fun. The environment's a lot of fun. I don't know. And then I was also kind of toying with the fact, like I had so much fun this summer that like maybe I don't race that much next year, like aside from like maybe 1 or 2 really big ones, and then maybe chase some fun FKTs or just go run around in the mountains and have fun, kind of like what I did this summer. But and then there's always my favorite race of all time, Up and Over. Can't say no to that.
It's a good one, dude. That's a good one. That race I still have not gone out to. It's on the list. It's it's funny, like Jenny and Chrissy, like all of them always go race it, and I'm like, man, one of these years I got to make it happen. Yeah.
It's
dude,
good. I think you would like it.
I think so too. It's like a Cirque Series race, just a little, actually similar altitude, similar everything. So yeah, it would be dope. Well, dude, wishing you the best of luck. It's always fun having these chats and catching up.
Sure.
We'll continue this going, but like, yeah, man, congratulations on everything so far this season, and wishing you the best of luck, and we'll be in touch, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, man.